Why is everything always working out for me? It's all G in my neighborhood. Why is everything always working out for me? I thank you for being so real and touching me, letting me see what a beautiful world this world is. Well, I thank you for all that's revealed. Well, you're changing me, opening my time-blinded eyes to see my glorious possibility. Maybe it's true, some folks can't see just what's going on. They need the proof that a beautiful world this world is. Well, I thank you for showing the way and setting them free, opening my time-blinded eyes to see a wonderful reality. Oh, and I pray for strength to keep seeing just like this, that I can say yes and move out the way and give my God its full sway. Yeah, oh, I thank you for being so real and changing me, opening my time-blinded eyes to see my glorious possibilities. And I thank you.
Got that nice N95. Nice. I've got an N95 too, but I didn't want to wear it for today. I wanted to wear my lucky koi. I know.
So Uma, you do that with your hand, right? And then I do this with my hand. Good morning, everyone. My name is Pasha McGregor. I'm facilitating this morning, this very special morning at New Thoughts Center. The last time we were assembled here was on March 15th, I believe. Little did we know what the next few months would bring. And we are so grateful that we have Marya Mann here as our first presenter of this new era, and Uma Ujeda, who's our music minister. If you were with us from 9:45, you've already been enjoying a lot of her music, but don't worry, there's more to come. So the first thing that we will be doing this morning to sort of help us center and relax and become fully aware of all the blessings ahead of us, it is, we will have a reading from Science of Mind magazine by Marie Claire. And Marie, you can use that middle microphone. And what we've worked out, I hope this is working for everybody, that whoever's actually speaking or singing gets to take the mask off and we put extra space. But whoever isn't, like me now, does this.
Is the mic on? Okay. This is a message on stillness and silence. When a great moment knocks on the door of your life, it is often no louder than the beating of your heart, and it is very easy to miss it. Indeed, man has seemed to possess the earth, even though little attention has been given to that still, small voice which says, "Man, know thyself." Most of us have heard the saying, "The postman always rings twice." It's a good thing the postman does this a second time, because most of the time we are so busy living our lives that we are deaf to the bell. It would be much more convenient if great moments called us with thunder and lightning, but alas, it doesn't happen that way most of the time. Darn. Psalm 93 by Stephen Mitchell says, "He speaks from the center of the universe in the silence, beyond all thought. Mightier than the crash of the thunderstorm, mightier than the roar of the sea is God's voice silently speaking in the depths of the listening heart." Creating time and space in our lives to listen to the silence is one of the greatest gifts of meditation. Vision, insight, intuition, and spiritual guidance all need stillness. All need stillness to emerge from our deepest levels of consciousness. Great moments are hard to discern when we are speaking and doing, because at those times we aren't providing an opening for the moment to break in. If we are lucky, as I have been sometimes, the still small voice becomes more like the proverbial nagging fishwife. However, I wouldn't count on such persistence. As Meister Eckhart advised, God is like a person who clears his throat while hiding and so gives himself away. The gift can be made only if we are home to accept it. Listen. The affirmation is, I listen for God's voice speaking. I listen for God's voice speaking in the stillness of my soul, in the stillness of my soul, and give thanks for the wisdom I receive, and give thanks for the wisdom I receive.
Thank you, Marie Claire. That was beautiful. So I believe we have like a time now of silent meditation, so you can reflect on those wise words or do whatever generally works for you to help you be fully centered and present. And I'll ring the little chimes to signify the end of that time. If anyone didn't do it yet, can you please silence your cell phone so we won't be called out by that? And I will do the same. Please bring your consciousness back to this room. Wow, I feel like I'm in a dream. You know, as strange as it is to be spread out all over the lanai and wearing masks, it's just so wonderful to feel the energy of these awesome people. I think I was pondering like what actually draws us to new thought, and I think really it's love, love of God, love for each other, love for the teachings and the laughter and the good food. Some of it we can't experience all of it yet, but hey, it's a good beginning. So we are, let's see, one of our ways of defining ourselves is we are weaving a lei of love. So let's do that this morning. And welcome also to the people who are not sitting on the lanai, but who are joining us by live stream. Uma will now grace us with another song.
You know what that reminds me of, right? I'm just playing. Oh, taking a banana off the wrapper. I don't know what you guys were thinking about. Anyway, here is a lovely song. I think I've done it before here. Oh, great spirit, earth, sun, sky, and sea, you are inside and all around me. Oh, great spirit, earth, sun, sky, and sea, You are inside and all around me. Walking in the forest, breathing the cool, cool breeze. Loving how it's feeling, seeing and blessing the trees. I'm so thankful for all that is. Everywhere around me, such beauty and bliss. Oh, great spirit, earth, sun, sky, and sea. You are inside and all around me. Life is so beautiful and I'm so blessed. Seeing the leaves, the moss and ginger. Here in the lovely Coloco fern forest. You shelter me and grant me peace and grace. Mother Earth, you hold me in your sweet embrace. Oh, great spirit, earth, sun, sky, and sea, you are inside and all around me. Oh, great spirit, earth, sun, sky, and sea, you are inside and all around me.
Now, I wouldn't really expect it but since one of my lessons of the past few months is unexpected things happen, I'm going to ask the question. Is anyone here at New Thought this morning for the first time? Please raise your hand if you are. Oh, okay. Not just one, but two. Amazing. Okay. Well, could you just, starting with Terry's guest, tell us your name and where you're from? Jeffrey, you are so welcome. And is it your guest, Shayna? Okay, could you just briefly take your mask off and tell us who you are and where you're from? Wisconsin and Vermont. Brent, awesome. You're so welcome, Brent. So one reason I'm excused for the moment. One reason I asked the question is to know whether I should do the short form or the long form of introducing what is New Thought, because if it's all, speaking to the choir, then I do the short form. But so New Thought Center of Hawaii has existed in some form since 1971. It began as a religious science church in Kailua Kona, met in Keaho primarily for about the first 30 years of its existence. And then 1999, we moved to this facility in Kealakekua with a gorgeous view of the ocean. And I'm sorry for the live stream people that we haven't yet learned how to, manipulate the camera so you can see it, but just take my word for it. It's gorgeous. And then about 10 years into that, so we welcomed the new millennium here on this lanai. And then about 10 years later, we purchased our meeting space. We were initially renting from a massage school. So that opened up lots of new possibilities for um, greater service to our community and more activities and events. That, yes. So we feel very grateful for our long history, all the people who went before us to make it possible for us to be here today. I think that's all I need to say at this moment. Now, normally at this point, I would invite all of you to introduce yourselves individually, say your name, and respond to a question or prompt from the speaker, Marya. Um, we are still kind of figuring out certain things about how we make our way of doing things mesh with the COVID rules. And at this point, we're feeling like it's not, we can't pass our handheld mic. Since we're spread out more widely than usual, it would be frustrating for people to be introducing themselves and saying perceptive things and not be able to be heard well. So we're just going to skip that part for today. But when Marya gets to her part, the ceremony of calling back the group soul, there will be opportunity to for some people to share individually at that time, and you'll be using this mic, the same one that Marie Claire used for the reading. But for the moment, we will move on. Actually, well, I'll show you how it's going to work, because I'm hoping there's someone brave enough to share their miracle, not just with the assembled group here, but also knowing that you're going to be, you know, broadcast and recorded for on our YouTube channel. So miracles, as we perceive them at New Thought, they're unexpected. They bring us insights, but they're also ordinary because they happen in the midst of our daily lives, and the lessons of the miracles are there for our use right away. Since we don't have enough of these individual mic covers for everybody to have their own, we will be asking the people who come to share miracles in front of this microphone to keep their mask on. But we did test it beforehand, that the muffling effect of the mask is counteracted by the microphone. So it should work. Okay, so who's feeling inspired and brave to come stand before the microphone and share their miracle? All right, Brent. Well,
Hi live stream. Can everyone hear me okay? We're good? We're cherry, as the Hawaiians say. Sorry, man. Is this good? Ooh, yeah, okay. Miracle. First of all, I think it's a miracle what's happening and that everyone's healthy, given all of this chaos around us, and that we're all here today. I have just a quick statement. I don't want to be disrespectful to others. I do have mild asthma, so you'll probably see me with my mask down if that's okay. If it's not okay, let me know. But I think it's a miracle that I'm here, that I found Stephen and Shayna, and that they are leaving. It's also Shayna's birthday today. That's a miracle. 73 years old. And yeah, I just want to express my gratitude and seeing it for what it is, a miracle being here, because I would have never known about this spot if not for these two. So I think that's a miracle. I think it's a miracle that they're able to travel back to their second home in Aspen and enjoy some time with some friends and family. And yeah, it's great to meet you all. Again, my name is Brent. Really appreciate you guys.
since we do have a couple of people who haven't been here before, if you see people doing like the little twinkly thing with their fingers, so there's sign language for applause, which I guess is wiggling your fingers. But then at New Thought, we further evolved it. If we want to express even greater enthusiasm, we can raise our hands and, do it in a more flamboyant way. So, who else has a miracle they'd like to share?
I'm not quite as tall as Brent. Aloha, everyone. My name's Jean Love, and I'm thrilled to be back in our space with our amazing Ohana. My heart is full. I did decide to go swim today, and the dolphins were out there, but they were, as I was told by other dolphin swimmers, they were sleepy. But I go, I'm here, it's calm, it's clear. So I went way out, and then I kind of went along the poly, and I saw these beautiful fish. And I go, you're just as beautiful. I love you just as much, fish. And then I looked over, and there was the pod. And, they didn't interact, but they just came by enough to fill my heart with my love for them and their accepting, beautiful heart. And my friend told me it's because of the third lunar eclipse that makes the dolphins a little like standoffish. Let's blame it on the stars. How's that? I know we're all doing the best we can with what we know how. And may we just love and forgive ourselves and each other and just, carry on. That's it.
I think we have time for one more miracle, if there is one out there wanting to be shared.
Getting my land legs.
It's not really that short. Lying.
Condors and vultures and the Himalayan griffin vulture. I'm talking about Himalayan griffin vulture. Himalayan griffin vulture. They fly in a V, dihedral, so they can grab the clouds and winds and don't have to exert a lot of energy. It just float up over Hawaii. It's nice up there. And this is not the condor, this is the thunderbird. I just learned from my studies of the condor and the vultures that the thunderbird is really the condor. The thunderbird is the condor. As this, they have found hundreds of condor bones in sites of Pleistocene, and that's my bird. I have switched to being Jatayu. That's my new name. I don't expect you to remember that. Jatayu is the Himalayan griffin vulture. That's the biggest bird in the world, the flying bird. I'm through.
Thank you, Condor. He really takes to heart Don Barnett's teaching about once you discover your power animal, you really should, try to understand it and learn about it from all different angles. And he's maybe someday he'll write a book on on his power animal. Yeah. So thank you for all who shared their miracles and for all who are holding their miracles inside. And may we all be blessed with more of them in the coming weeks and months. Now we get to have another song from Uma Ujeda.
Did anybody see the movie Smallfoot yet? Watching a lot of TV, at least I am. Check it out. It's a really cute Pixar movie. This song comes from it. It's by a group called CYN. I'm not sure if you just call it Sin or CYN. Check it out. It's called Moment of Truth. It's time to do something drastic, something new. Right here and right now, we need to find a way somehow. It's about reaching out, closing up the distance instead of hate. Celebrate all the ways we're different. I am optimistic, yes, I do believe we have the power to make this world a better place. But if it's ever gonna change, gotta come together, me and you, in a moment of truth. If it's ever gonna change, gotta come together, me and you, in a moment of truth. Na 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 na, na 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 na, yeah yeah oh 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 oh, na 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 na, na 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 na, yeah yeah oh 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 oh. It's been way too long. We've been singing that same old song. It worked in a certain light, not really wrong, but never quite right. But with the heart and with the dream and the will to chase it, it's not as hard as it seems if we just embrace it. It's not unrealistic, it's all within our reach. It's up to us to make this world a better place. But if it's ever gonna change, gotta come together, me and you, in a moment of truth. If it's ever gonna change, gotta come together, me and you, in a moment of truth. Na 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 na, na 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 na, yeah yeah oh 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 oh, na 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 na, na 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 na, yeah yeah oh 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 oh. If it's ever gonna change, gotta come together, me and you, in a moment of truth. If it's ever gonna change, gotta come together, me and you, in a moment of truth. Na 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 na, na 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 na, yeah yeah oh 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 oh.
Now it's my privilege to officially introduce our today's speaker. So I was, because we haven't been here for a while and things are a bit different, organizing for today's service was a little more challenging than usual. And I everything except my own binder that I was intending to use as facilitator. And I had this very detailed introduction of Marya, but I'm just going to wing it. Okay, so she is a writer, a scholar, a teacher, a practitioner and teacher of yoga. She has a special calling of service to children. And although she facilitates the children's art, those of you who are actually here on the lanai, you can see some examples of it over there. I think she must kind of be an artist herself. Otherwise, she probably couldn't do that, couldn't bring that out of them. She also, I think it was like November, December. I mean, it was back in 2019, before anyone had ever even heard of COVID. She had a grave illness, and we didn't know if she was going to come through, and I was part of group meditation, and some of you were there too, and Aaron did incredible service, went to visit her in the hospital on Oahu, and one thing, and just we were all so awestruck and grateful that she decided to stay on the planet for a bit longer. And she had only just done, I think, 1 or 2 of her Monday yoga classes when we had to shut down. But it just seems so appropriate that, she's the one to help us return as a community. And having her be so near the other side, it made me realize how important it is to appreciate people, because we never know, how much time any of us has. And I'm so grateful to have her for a friend. Marya, I'll come back to this seat when we're like maybe 5 minutes away from needing to wrap or transition to the regular service outline. Otherwise, take it away.
Okay. And I'm on. I am on. Is this the right volume? Is this okay? You can hear and everything? It's going to take me a little bit of time to get used to it, so please bear with me. I'm just kind of finding my seat here. It's so nice to see people that I haven't seen in so long, and I'm really glad that you brought that up, Pasha, about the near-death experience that I had, and that really it was your prayers that brought me back. And so as you were speaking, I thought, oh no, she's going to make me cry, because I just never realized that people cared so much. And I think that that's what many people who touch the other side and come back, you're kind of like amazed. And when people told me that, Ambika had been teaching class and Aaron had organized all this wonderful gathering time and prayers, and I thought, darn, I wish I had been there and and heard all this good stuff. Did you record it? Can I listen to it again? You kind of feel like if somebody dies and they wish they had been at their own funeral so they could hear all these nice things that they never hear when they're alive. So stay up to date with our friends, let them know how much you really care. It does matter. So today we're going to quicken the light in the heart. And we're doing that by the good graces of Pasha and the board and the people that have organized this space. Thank you so much for being here and providing a space, a sacred space for us to gather together and really metaphorically hold hands. Even though we can't physically hold hands, we don't need to be socially distanced. We can be physically distanced. without creating any limitations in how much we connect with each other. And to me, this is one of the great gifts of the COVID-19 pandemic, is that we are learning that we are actually far more connected metaphysically than many of us realize. I think people here realize more than others, but we've been doing a lot of work on Zoom, and we're connecting on by phone and just telepathically connecting. And I think it's increasing our abilities to be telekinetically empowered. So the other great thing about the COVID-19 crisis is that the planet loves it. The birds are singing, wild animals are trotting through Sydney, Australia's downtown, and showing up in cities in New York and in South America and Rio de Janeiro. You've got, the ravens are alive, and these wild animals are finally refinding their homes because we humans have calmed down a little bit. And and I think this is such a beautiful time for us to remember that this is really who we are as part of nature. We're not separate from nature. We're not here to use nature or to exploit it. Truly, in our bones and our flesh, we are one with nature. And as Hank, one of my teachers and a teacher for a lot of people here, is always saying, that in fact, when we go into the transcendent space, as we will today in our ceremony, we are actually tuning into nature's dreaming. It's already there. And sometimes we are asleep to it. And I think that's the other benefit of the COVID crisis, is that it's reminded us of these deep interconnections. So today we're going to quicken the light in the heart. The light in the heart is known by many, many things. It's the inner beloved. The Hindus, and in Sanskrit it is called Ishta Devata. It's the inner divinity. And it's very interesting, Ishta Devata. In Cherokee, the word for the very same entity is Shante Ishta. In Cherokee. So you have this Indian tradition on one side of the globe, this Cherokee tradition on another side of the globe, and they're calling this inner heart wisdom, this inner heart deity, by almost exactly the same name. I find that really amazing. And so as we call on our inner heart wisdom to guide us in our journey today, so that we can both call on the soul of the New Thought Center, which never really went anywhere, but maybe it got a little fragmented because we were all kind of separate, doing our separate things. And as we come back together, we feel more in tune with the soul of the New Thought Center. But I think it's really very much about our Ishta Devata, expressing our true heart's desire, our true heart's longing. And I would invite you right now, even before we do our invocation and our clearing, to remember what was on your mind at the moment that you decided you were going to be here today. What was it about a ceremony to recall the soul of the New Thought Center that appealed to you? There was an inner drive. There was an inner knowing. And just tune into that right now in your heart. And if you wouldn't mind putting your hand on your heart, I would love that. If we all put our hands on our heart, feel how connected we feel just by doing that, just by bringing in the wisdom of the heart and touching into it, feeling our own heartbeat. And it's said in indigenous traditions that the reason that we have the heartbeat is so that we can have the drum for our ceremonies. That we were given a heartbeat because it reminds us when we come together that we tune into this sacred heart. So we're here to awaken. We're here to awaken the part of our consciousness that can evolve and that intends to evolve. And that's what a ceremony is. A ceremony is actually a moment that we reset our consciousness to a new calibration. So it's like if you have your computer and you go along and it starts acting up a little bit, you turn it off and you reset it, basically, power cycle, and you turn it back on and everything's fine. You reset, recalibrate. And that's what a ceremony is. And that's what I'm inviting us to do together today to co-create this wisdom that we want to bring in here so that we have a ceremonial altar space in our hearts that carries the soul of the New Thought Center inside of us. And that doesn't mean leaving part of our heart here or taking part of the soul away, because we know at the level of the dreaming and at the level of spirit, there are no endings and there are no beginnings and there's no place over there or place over here. It's all one time, one space, and one positive intention. So I'd like to share with you just very briefly a dream that I had the first time that I went to India. It was in 1998. I had been studying yoga for already 25 years, and my mother had just died. And I didn't want to leave the country for about 5 years before she died because I didn't want to be gone if she died. And so I stayed as close as I could. It's just I needed to be here for her. And I did. I helped midwife her to the other side. And it was a beautiful death. It was what you would call a good grief, even, because we felt so good about her passing. And afterwards, I went to India, and that's where I started to really study Patanjali Sutras and the Bhagavad Gita, and to understand that yoga was about way more than the postures, because like most of us, I had been taught to go through the Trikonasana and the Shirsasana, and it was like a way to stay healthy, keep a flat tummy and strong biceps. And of course, yoga is so much more than that. So while I was there, I began to really understand these deeper teachings of yoga. And it was much later, actually, that I had a dream, a waking dream, a shamanic dream. And in that dream, I was laying on my own deathbed. And while I was laying on my own deathbed, I looked up and Patanjali was there, the great teacher of yoga, the one who codified the sutras. Patanjali was standing there, and there were all of these wisdom teachers around and this kind of circled around the bed. And of course, the first thing I realized was I must be dying because all these people are here kind of weeping over me, kind of like I felt in December when people were coming to see me. But I realized that Patanjali was especially upset because I was Patanjali's mother. And that's what the dream was telling me, was that I was Patanjali's mother. Now, that's a tall order for anybody to kind of conceive of. And I've been able to kind of tone it down a little bit, that every person that I meet is a child to me. Just like I am a child to every person that I meet. You are my mother, and I am your mother, and you are my father, and I am your daughter, and we're all in this interconnected place. But it made me get really real about how important it is that in every moment we are ready for death. And the sad fact is that most people, when they come to their death experience and they, like me, come back, or when they're on their deathbed and they're actually going, they have regrets. And I think we all want to live with no regrets. So if we die tonight, there are no regrets, right? But the 5 regrets that people usually have is that they worked too much. This has been scientifically researched and shown. People regret that they worked too much. They regret that they didn't spend as much time with their friends and family as they had wanted to. And they regret that they didn't follow their dreams. And so the great thing about ceremony and being here at the New Thought Center is we're accomplishing all of those. And so just by being here and showing up, we're removing and clearing away any regrets so that we can be up to the moment and be ready in every second. So before we start, the other thing I want to say is that this is a circle of strength and this is a circle of power. And as we call in the spirits, we always want to be careful to call in the good spirits. We do not allow any negative spirits into this space. In fact, we always say in the ceremonies that I'm involved in, I call into my field only those energies that are for my greatest and highest good. All others I repel back to their source. So let's just do that. Let's just clear away the space and know that we are creating a clear field of energy. That's right. That's perfect. Right. Now, I brought my tingsha bells, and I'm going to play these and invite you to clear away your internal space. So before we start any ceremony, we want to be as centered as possible and as clear-headed as possible. And I find that one of the best ways to do that is to close our eyes. Because as soon as we close our eyes, we're going into that interior realm where the dreaming happens. So I'd like for you just to listen to the sound of the bells and in your heart ask, what is my deepest heart's desire? On the trail of asking what triggered you to come here today is, what is your deepest heart's desire? Let the sound of the bells settle into all 70 trillion cells. Feel the resonance of your heart's desire percolating up so that you are quite clear. Your heart's desire, of course, is not connected to just now. It's connected to why you came to Earth, why you were born. If you want to stand up and start to move already, that's fine. That's great. We will do some breathing and moving as we proceed. So feel your energy field inside and out, completely clear of all limited thinking, all negativity. All of the lifeless past is gone. What is here and now is us sitting here in our seats, sitting here in this space. And let's take a deep breath in. Some of you know the breath of Ha, which in yoga is known as Ujjayi Pranayama, the victorious breath. And the breath of Ha in the Hawaiian tradition is to transmit mana. And what we do with yoga is we breathe in through the nostrils. Breathe in deeply, breathe in a little bit more deeply, and then as we exhale, go ahead and leave the mouth open for now and say Ha as though you're fogging up a mirror. Even behind your mask. This time, breathe in deeply, clarifying every cell, every atom in the body. Breathe in a little bit more. Let the energy rise from the pelvic floor up to the crown of the head. Touch the roof of the mouth with the tip of your tongue. Let the eye gaze look up. Pause at the top, holding the in-breath. Exhale with the mouth closed, still saying Ha on the back of the throat. Relaxing the whole body. Exhale completely empty. Pause at the empty spot. Inhale again through both nostrils. Keep breathing in. Breathe into the belly. Breathe into the heart. Breathe into the middle of the head. Pause. Let the eye gaze float up. Soften the eyeballs. So you're feeling a lifting upward as though you're curving up and back with the eyes. And then gently exhale. Draw the navel in as you send the breath out the nostrils. Again, one more time. Inhale completely through both nostrils. Let the breath come to the center of the mind, the center of the brain. waking up all those dormant centers that will be quickened with the sound of the drum and the sound of the bowl. Breathing completely, feel into the belly, the heart, the center of the head, those three portals in the body. Pause. And gently exhale, draw your navel in and breathe out. And keep breathing like that. The breath of Ha is known as the breath of victory, the victorious breath. So this is how we achieve victory over the mundane and the ordinary of our existence. We achieve victory over the breath. And inhaling again, let's lift both arms. And if you want, you can go ahead and stand. Reaching up toward the sky. And I'd like for you to focus on closing the eyes and feeling your body and feeling the solar movement in the body. So we have a solar movement and a lunar movement in the body, and I want you to find it. Breathing in. Reach like a beam of light. And then as you exhale, draw in like the moon. Gather in. Draw your navel in and feel that lunar breath. The lunar breathing. Inhale, solar breathing, the breath of Ha. Extend through the fingers, through the toes. And as we exhale, drawing in, being the moon. So those of you that are familiar with yoga know that a lot of physical yoga is taught as Hatha Yoga or Hatha Yoga. That merely means sun and moon. Ta is moon. So we're weaving together, we're fusing the opposites. Inhale, sun. Beam yourself out into space. Exhale, drawing in and mirror the environment that you're drawing into your own body. Inhale again. Feeling the breath come from the pelvic floor, through the belly, through the heart, through the neck, to the crown of the head, and then gently breathe out, drawing in. Solar and lunar movement. And continue to breathe like that. And I am going to chant a 133,000-year-old chant, inviting the positive spirits into our space. This is a chant from the Salagi tradition. It's about the Adawis, and the Adawis are the guardians of the directions. We are familiar with drawing in the four directions, and that's what the Adawi chant does, draws in the four directions. So in whatever way you internally do that for yourself, while you're listening to the chant, allow your four directional energy, the space in front of you, the space behind you, the space on either side of you becoming more and more sacred. Ada we galu unata kali ileka adawi ayu toiu alene ilo himo kalu aui unata kali ileka o seda o seda. Oseda means it is good and it is good. So feel the goodness all around us. And let's take an extra step to accelerate the good and awaken the power of our evolutionary spirit to create a deeper, richer quality of our own humanity with a Maori symbol, a Maori sound of clacking the bones. The Maori people of New Zealand say that to break the dysfunctional patterns of the ancestors, we clack the bones. So while I'm clacking the bones, I'm going to ask you to move however you want to move out any negative energies, any traumatic energies from the past. We're just going to get it out of us. Go ahead and clear out your own ancestral energy that is ready to be released. And then the soul's ancestral energy of the whole community here. The state of Hawaii, the United States, clear out all those negative patterns, see them as gone. Use your Ishtadevata in your heart to clear away anything unlike this beautiful, sweet, kind, compassionate, prosperous energy now. This is a sacrum, not mine, not anybody that I know. It's a cow's, but it's the same, breaking those dysfunctional patterns so we can let all of that go. And then you can continue to stand or sit as you wish. As we're moving up the spine and we're gathering energies for our ritual space, I'd like for you to feel this bowl as a representation of your own inner bowl of light. And so looking down into your heart and into the solar plexus, the solar plexus is your inner sun, and it connects with the outer sun, the outer solar wisdom. And so as we play the bowl, connecting to the sun within and the sun that we can see, we also go further to connect to the sun at the center of the galaxy, Hunabku, and allow the sounding of the bowl to help you quicken and awaken that heart's desire, the heart's longing. Just as the bowl has an outer rim and an inner space, we're going to pause after hearing the bowl, and now we're going to listen to the inner space. Feel the vibration deepen. The sound of the drum connects us with the earth. Feel the earth under our feet. Send your taproot down into the earth. A deep root right into the core of the earth. Let the weight of your body sink into gravity. Every breath you take brings in the energy of the earth up through your feet and your pelvis, through the legs, through the belly, through the solar plexus, to the heart, to the throat, to the crown of the head. Tend to the earth. Feel the earth soft and open, ready to receive seeds. And when we receive the seeds, through the sound of the rattle, which is filled with seeds, Look at your seeds in your heart. The seed of light that is your Ishtadevata, but also the seeds of your intelligence that you are here to cast into the sacred altar we are creating. The sacred altar for the soul of the New Thought Center, deeply entwined with your personal wish, your personal heart's desire. We provoke the energy, and then we allow for a secretion, a receiving. Let the body relax and receive that wisdom. So for the main part of our dreaming, I'm going to invite you to become comfortable, centered in your heart and feeling that flame of light growing, and feel that flame of light filling the entire inner body. And as you look into the heart, allow your breath body, your light body, to quicken inside your physical body, sitting here. And as I begin to drum, allow your breath body to arise, go to your sacred garden or go to a portal, as though you're walking out a door. You go to the door, you open the door, and you look through, and there is the sacred dreaming. And in the sacred dreaming, walk along a path in nature. Look at the trees, look at the sky. Feel your feet on the ground. Smell the fragrances of nature. Moving along, trusting your Ishtadevata, your inner deity, or a spirit that appears to guide you to a place where there is a building. And inside the building is a light. And you ask for permission to enter the building. And as you enter, you notice there are other people entering this sacred space. And as you walk in, you see that there is an altar cloth laid in the middle of this building. And there are many offerings on the cloth. The cloth is vibrant, multi-textured. The offerings are flowers and crystals and stones. Add your offering that appears to you. Incense is burning. The candle flame is quickening. And as you sit in this space before this altar, you know this is the place where the soul of the New Thought Center resides. And you bring your heart's intention to this sacred space. And you ask, what is my purpose here? What is the relationship of my heart's longing to the soul of the New Thought Center? And let yourself be guided. I will be silent. Notice that the altar space with candles burning and fresh flowers will be there in this collective dream space whenever you return. Where there are spirits that attend to the soul, that attend to the altar space for this collective soul. And as you leave, turn and bow reverently to the spirits of that place. And then walking out the door, walk down the path, seeing the same trees, the palm trees and oak trees and dogwood trees that you saw on the way in. And coming back to the portal you moved through when you left this space here at the New Thought Center. And then find yourself deeply inside your own body, feeling the yummy, delicious sensation of being alive and being here now. Feel the quickening and the trembling and the vibration of the love in your heart and the unconditional love in this space. Knowing that the most important purpose that we have is to give and receive love. And to practice our unconditionally loving nature with each other. And let's wiggle the fingers and the toes, filling out the space inside our bodies with this powerful spirit. Move the tongue around on the inside of the mouth. Moisten the lips with the tongue. And as you move from the inner space to the outer space by moistening the lips, notice the shift from the internal softness to the external. And know that at some point, we hope that we will all have the internal imaginal realm entering into the external world. So while we're sitting here, tune into your body of breath and light again. Let's perform a group ritual of healing our planet. This is based on an ancient teaching and a lineage from Tantric Buddhism. And as we lift up out of our bodies in the breath body, the light body, connect with your Ishta Devata, your inner deity, who's now hovering in front of you. And together, you lift up into the sky and you look around at the world that is. You look at the world of racial strife and disharmony, of sickness and refugees and disasters, of the hate, of the misguided humanity. And looking at your Ishta Devata, your teacher, with the eyes of divine love, and feeling the eyes of divine love looking back at you and showering all the sweetness and the love into your heart. Turn your joint attention toward that land of disease and pandemic and strife. And with a wave of your hands, watch all of that disappear. And as it disappears, it melts down into a beautiful swirling rainbow light, like a primordial soup that melts away into nothing but an ocean of light. And out of that ocean of light, you and your spirit guide project the wisdom of healthy living so that you see healthy fields and organic farms, lively children, and loving families begin to appear. People are smiling. And as you travel around the world with your guide, notice where there were refugee camps, there now are tiny houses and people loving their education and their ability to play. See that all of them are starting to function again. See that there are healthy boundaries, healthy relationships, foods, a sense and quality of deep, bright light permeates everything. And as you look at your spirit teacher, he or she points for you to look down. And as you look down on the world, you see that all the people in the world are smiling up at you because they see your prayer and they see that you are changing the world through your intention. And see the people from below waving and smiling and appreciating you. And look at your spirit teacher and know that they are saying to you that you are next in line. You are now becoming the ancestor. You are now becoming the spirit teacher of others. Feel the quality of joy that you feel knowing that you are helping others. And as you bring yourself back into your body, see your spirit teacher begin to dissolve from head down to the toes and become a tiny drop of light. And that tiny drop of light enters you at the crown of the head. And it pours down through the corpus callosum, both sides of the brain, filling the skull and the mouth, the nose, the ears, the eyes of divine love pour down with this drop of your spirit wisdom through the throat, into the shoulders and the arms, to the fingers, through the collarbones and the shoulder blades and the chest, the heart and the lungs, down through the diaphragm, pouring down this light of wisdom as every part of you turns on to this wisdom light, this wisdom fire, moving down through the pelvis and the joints of the hips and the knees, the lower legs, the feet and the toes. Your whole body is quickening with this spirit. Feel yourself centered in space. And take a moment to recall your dreaming. Recall being at the altar. Recall the healing. And as you are ready, gently open your eyes. And come back into this space.
Powerful. Ooh, we have had a cosmic journey. Oh, I like the idea that we're the spirit teachers. So, one thing Marya mentioned was about that the kind of paradox that at the same time we've been physically separated, we've been brought closer together in certain ways, and just develop new ways of being. Um, and this, I hope that this experience we've had today of being both physically gathering and live streaming, I hope it will happen again. And I greatly want to acknowledge David and Uma for helping us to bring this together today. We want to be not either or, but both and. And one of the things that's changed is our ways of donating to support the center. We are not passing the Koa bowl. It's right there next to the post, next to Marya. And one person already put their donation in early. Thank you. But while Uma does our offertory music, if anyone else wishes to come up, singly and drop something in the Koa bowl, that's wonderful. It's also just fine to give a donation by way of PayPal, which is the main way we've been receiving donations for the past 3 months, or send a donation to our mailbox. And the information on how to do that is you can find either on our New Thought website or in the newsletter if you are a subscriber. And that green piece of paper that you received when you arrived, it has the address of the New Thought website. So Uma will now grace us with our offertory song.
I'm torn, though, between so many songs to choose from. I'm going to give you 2 choices. Get Together by the Youngbloods, which you might be tempted to sing along to, but I think you can sing in your mask. Or Keep on the Sunny Side, a really old favorite. Youngbloods? Okay, I knew it. Could feel you. I could sense you. My bad. Here we go. Love is but a song we sing, and fear's the way we die. You can make the mountains ring, or the angels cry. Though the bird is on the wing, and you may not know why. Come on, people now, smile on your brother. Everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Come on, people now, smile on your brother. Everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Some may come and some may go, and we shall surely pass. When the one that left us here returns at last, we are but a moment's sunlight fading in the grass. Everybody, come on, people now, smile on your brother. Everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Dave, will you turn that mic off, please? That mic. Hear the song I sing, you will understand. You hold the key to love and fear, all in your trembling hand. Just one key unlocks them both. It's there at your command. So come on, people now, smile on your brother. Everybody everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Oh, come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together, try to love one another right now. I said, come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Right now. Right now. Oh, what a gorgeous choir. The New Thought Center choir out there. Beautiful. I think since I have one more song, do you want to just use that mic again, sweetheart? Because I'm going to have to do that closing song also.
Okay, Uma's suggesting I should use this one so we don't have to keep switching back the mic covers. Well, I think that was an absolutely perfect choice, Uma. So can everybody return to the vicinity of your chair? We still have some announcements and a closing song. Yeah. Ah, that was great. I was kind of regretting when we were arranging the chairs, there wasn't exactly room for the New Thought dancers, but they found a way. So we have a few announcements for you, and I'm going to ask Marya to go first. We normally would have an opportunity for, well, two things that we can't quite do yet for our speaker, that we would have an opportunity for them to offer some of their creations for sale, and we would take our speaker to lunch, but we're not able to implement those customs quite yet. When it feels safe, when the rules are modified, we will be happy to do that. But what Marya did was she brought examples of these things. This is not a personal business of hers. This is actually a charity. And so she made this little order form so that you, not now, but subsequently, you can order one of these things and arrange with her how you're going to get it and how she's going to receive the donation. And I'm actually a model. Since I knew about this ahead of time, I bought one of these silk face masks that's actually made from the silk that was painted by the children. Okay. And Terry, raise your hand, Terry. Okay. So thank you to Terry and to Chris for being our ushers today. Terry's going to be stationed at the table out as you're on the near the parking lot. And she will have these 3 items for any of you that want them. Marya's business card, the order form, and something in a handout about yoga class. So, but Marya, I would like you to give, a little more detail right now, please.
Okay. I don't know. Thank you very much, Pasha, and thank you for demonstrating. We're really pleased with the way that these face masks came out because we have a lot of these banners that the children. A little background is that the children were learning art. They were learning art as prayer flag making. So they were looking at their own heart's desire for healing and healthy parents and grandparents, and then painting their positive dreams on the banners. You can see, for instance, right here on that, the blue one here, you can see over here all the way on that side, you have an aha pua'a, right? And that was for a healthy aha pua'a. And then you have symbols that they were interested in, of course, the sea creatures. And Children made them. They made their own that they took home, but they contributed to a group project that was to help feed other families and feed other children. So it came out of their generosity. It came out of the children's prayers. And parents told me, oh, no, kids won't really get that. They just want to make things for themselves. Not so. The children at Skaya and Donkey Mill and that we worked with at festivals, when we told them that they could paint their positive dreams and help other people, they were all in. Let me at it. Let me do it. And so these were all made with that amazing intention. And so this is kind of a curtain that you could put anywhere, hang over your bed or hang in front of a window. There are some other banners here. And I just want to encourage you to take a look at them. If you want to buy just one scarf, there are scarves here. And, just call me. Take one of the order forms, call me up, let me know what you're interested in. We only have 3 of these masks at this point, but we can make some more. And I think that they're really sweet. And then all of the money from this, we're not going to do any more training of the children right now, but that will go directly to Food Basket to help to feed Hawaiian families. And this is a good time for that. So everything that you decide to contribute goes to the children. So anyway, please consider it. They're nice gifts. Yes. Yeah. Oh, no. Oh. Oh, sorry. Sorry. Call me.
We have wise advice from our friends at Unity who started having in-person meetings a month ago. And they said the absolute hardest time to keep people committed to following the social distancing rules is departure, because it's such a tease, that we're seeing our friends that we haven't seen for months, and we really want to hug them and we want to talk to them and find out what's new with them. But as New Thought Center, we have to try to manage things in such a way that that doesn't happen here. Now, the range of attitudes is so huge. We're New Thought. We value uniqueness and originality and diverse viewpoints. I mean, some people are so mad about the rules they won't even come. And other people won't come if they don't think we take the rules seriously because they feel it's actually a danger. And on our board, which consists of 9 people, 3 of the 9 have had family members affected by COVID. One person, a nephew, a 41-year-old nephew died of it, a first responder. So on our board, it's not imaginary. I mean, thank goodness, it hasn't touched any members of our own New Thought community. I mean, it hasn't sickened or taken away any of them that we know of, but it's not a fancy. So I had this idea as a classroom teacher. Oh, we can dismiss the people, one row or one quadrant at a time, and the ones who think, this is no big deal, they can make arrangements in the parking lot how they're going to get together in another time or place. But I kind of have this feeling that's not going to work, and we're a little bit over time. So what I'm thinking is that maybe what we should do is allow the people who feel their safety requires the social distancing, they, either because of age or health conditions, give those people the opportunity to leave now before our closing song. And our closing song will actually be you can sing through in your chair, through your mask, you can sing, but we can't join hands, we can't form a circle. So it isn't going to be quite the same. It'll be more like a performance, which Uma, I'm sure, will do it very well. but I'm just going to mention two things from this green paper, since all of you either received it on the way in or you can get a copy on your way out. I'm just going to talk about next week. Sheila Gallion is our next speaker. Snap, crackle, pop. What do I do with all this light? Now, doesn't that work perfectly with Marya that had us engaging the illuminated heart? Wow. And our speaker is a young musician named Sakshi Zion. He's into reggae. So it'll be new experience for, yes, it'll be a new experience for, New Thought will be a new experience for him and vice versa. So we'll be happy to welcome him. And then during the week, we have gentle yoga from 5 to 6:30 right here on the lanai.
May I say a little thing?
Please.
It's right out here, and we get in a nice big circle area so that everybody can have their own practice, and we feel really safe, and it's very nice. So I encourage you to come. All levels welcome. It's we get jazzed. So.
And we found a part in the rules that said when people are exercising, they may remove their masks. So we do the social distancing for yoga class, but when the actual physical exercises are happening, you can remove your mask. You should wear the mask as you're coming in from the parking lot to the space. And if Marya has some instructions to give verbally, keep it on. But when it's time to actually do the exercises, you can remove. With this much space, you can do even more than 6 feet if you need to. So that takes care of next week, and everything else, who knows what's really going to happen anyway. Okay, so I'd like to release the people that need to go to their car and make sure that they're not, closer than 6 feet to anybody else. And you may actually, if you don't need to use the restroom, you can exit by the south side also. So, and Terry will be out there with those handouts. Okay, Darmini? Oh, you're very welcome. Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, well, a great many people participated, but I accept the thanks on my, not just for me, but for all the others as well. Thank you for thanking me. All right, so I think we're ready for our closing song, and feel free to sing into your mask.
Remember, the words are right up there. Are we going to stand up, everybody? Let's go ahead and at least stand up. And imaginary hand-held hugs circle, yes. Oh, Havaine, Mina ahe makanie pamaine, make aloha, no Hawaii. Haoli no pio, oh Havaine, Mina ahe makanie pamaine, make aloha.
aloha.